Hi children, welcome to EduCub. Today we are with a new video from grade 9 science. This is unit 15, simple machines. In ancient time, man used machine to make their jobs easy. Let us recall some instances where simple machines are used. As you know, it is difficult to lift and remove a large log or rock with hands. You may have experienced in your day-to-day life that one end of the metal rod is kept under the rock or log and pushed down from the other end of the rod. This mechanical device is known as lever, or we can pronounce it as a lever. Can a single person lift a barrel of oil to the deck of the lorry? It is difficult. Let us find out the amount of forces that have to be applied to lift an object directly upward. Hang a piece of metal on a spring balance and take the reading. Then lift the piece of metal vertically up with your hand. While it is on a spring balance and observe the reading of the balance. When the piece of metal was hanging on the balance, a force which is equal to the weight of the piece of metal is exerted downwards on the balance. While you are lifting the piece of metal, you are applying a force which is equal to the weight of it upwards. Then you will observe that the reading of the balance reaches 0. Thus, it is clear that force which is equal to the weight of the object should be applied upwards to lift it vertically up. Now keep the piece of long plank inclined to the horizontal surface and draw the same piece of metal along it. Observe the reading of the spring balance. You will realize that the force exerted to draw piece metal along the cramp is less than the force exerted to lift it directly upward. Here, the job is made easy. Here, the device used to lift the piece of metal is known as inclined plane. When a barrel of oil is to be loaded a lorry, it is easy to push it along a ramp as shown in this figure. Here you can see loading a barrel of oil to a lorry using an inclined plane. When you want to pull a bucket of water from well, you will tie one end of a rope to the bucket. Send the bucket into the well and draw it upward by pulling it from the other end of the rope. Here, that force should be applied is equal to the weight of the bucket full of water. Let us consider an easy way to do this job. Lifting the bucket of water can be easily done by sending the rope under a pulley and drawing the other end of the rope downwards. Drawing sometimes down is easier than the drawing it up. Pulley is used to change the direction of force as we want. Lifting a bucket of water can be easily done by sending the rope around the pulley and drawing the other end of the rope downwards. So we call that pulley. To sink a screw nail into something, the force is applied by turning the hand of screwdriver. It is common experience that this job is made easier by the screwdriver. Here the device is used known as the wheel and axle. So device we name it as wheel and axle. Strategies used to make the job easy are known as simple machines. There are 4 types of simple machines: lever, inclined plane, pulley, wheel and axle. First one is lever. As we have discussed earlier, a metal rod or crowbar can be used to lift a wooden log or a rock. It is difficult to lift the rock to some height. The force that should be applied to do it very large, that a single person cannot do it. It is easy to lift a rock or a log by using a crowbar as a lever. Let's find out about the lever. You will need a book, Newton's stream balance, ruler, or a wooden strip. Let's see what we have to do. Weigh the book using the Newton's stream balance. Keep the wooden strip on the piece of wooden as a support P to balance it. Place the book on the end of the strip as shown in the figure. Couple the Newton balance to the other end of the strip using the book and pull the balance vertically downwards holding its stem. Take the reading of the balance. Keep the distance of the book to the support A constant and take several readings by changing the distance of the support to the place where the reading balance X is coupled. Take several readings by keeping values of greater than A and less than A. In each situation, observe the movement of the place attached to the wooden strip. Take the book lift vertically distance comparatively. Measure the distance x and keep records. You may have observed that force necessary to lift the book is less than weight of the books when x is greater than a. Here the lever helps to ease the job. When x is smaller than a, the force necessary to lift the book is greater than the weight of the book. But in the case book moves further than the point where the balance attached moves, this distance advantages in some instances. In all above instances, the force applied on the lever is downward to lift the book upward. This change of direction of force is also another advantage of a lever. Let's see what are the parts of a lever. Here, the wooden strip in activity 15.1 is used as a lever. The force applied on the lever downwards is known as effort. The force applied on lever downwards is known as effort. The lever lifts the weight of the book. Thus, weight lifted by the lever is load. The point of wooden strip that contact with the lever is called fulcrum. Here we consider 3 points of a lever. Loaded is at one end of the lever. Effort is at the other end of the lever. Load is balanced by the effort over the fulcrum. Let's see what is the effort arm and load arm. You can see the parts of a lever in this diagram. The part of the lever from effort to fulcrum CB is known as effort arm. The part of the lever from the load to the fulcrum CA is known as load arm. Next one is mechanical advantage. Mostly a large load can be balanced by applying a small effort on a machine. In the above activity, when the length of effort arm X is greater than the load arm A, the book could be lifted by applying a force less than the weight of the book. This advantage of a machine is calculated as the ratio of a load of effort. This ratio is known as mechanical advantage. This is the equation for the mechanical advantage. We have to divide load by effort. According to the above activity, a load of 36 Newton is lifted by applying an effort of 12 Newton. Then the mechanical advantage is we have to take it load divided by effort. Newton 36 is divided by Newton 12. Answer is 3. No measuring units are there. To remove a lid of a tin can, you can lift it with your fingers, but it is difficult. An easier way is you can see in this figure. Here the handle of the spoon is used as a lever. One end of the handle of a spoon holds a lid of tin. It's a load. One point of the handle rests on the edge of the tin can. This point is the fulcrum. When the small force effort is applied at the free end of the handle, the lid is thrown up, so the load of the can is removed easily. Consider the position of fulcrum of the levers mentioned in here. It is positional between the effort and the load. Let us consider following situation where the effort arm is greater than the load arm. Levers can be divided into three orders according to the position of effort, load and fulcrum. First order lever, second order lever, third order lever. Let's see what is the first order lever is. Levers in which the fulcrum act between load and effort are called first order levers. All levers we considered in this lesson up to now are first order levers. You can see in this diagram. Load and effort in the ends of the bar and middle you can see the fulcrum. Examples are seesaw, pair of scissors, forceps. Second order levers. Levers in which the load acts between effort and fulcrum are referred as to the second order levers. Examples are nutcracker and wheelbarrow. Third order levers. In third order levers, effort acts between the load and the fulcrum. Load arm is always longer than the effort arm in third order levers. Therefore, an effort is greater than the load has to be applied to balance the rod. The mechanical advantage is always less than 1. But these levers are advantageous because load moves more for a small motion of the effort. We can see this mechanism in fishing rod. Velocity of ratio of a lever. Here, effort is applied on a point B of this lever. Let's the point B levers travels to point X, which is displacement of an effort. Sometimes load is lifted from A to Y, therefore AY is the displacement of a rod. Velocity ratio of machine is the ratio of the displacement of effort to the displacement of rod during the same time. Velocity ratio equation is we have to divide displacement of effort by displacement of load. According to mathematics, same value can be obtained by dividing length of effort arm by length of load arm. The larger velocity ratio of machine of the smaller effort that should be applied on it. In above activity, Bx is 60 cm and Ay is 15 cm. So, we can calculate velocity of ratio by dividing displacement of effort by the displacement of load. 60 divided by 15, answer is 4. Velocity is 4. If a velocity ratio of machine is 4, then theoretically the effort that should be applied to a lift load used in this machine is quarter of the load. But the practice, the effort does not decrease down much. The reason for this is friction of the system. Thus, the mechanical advantage of machine is always less than the velocity ratio. Next topic is work input and work output. When we have to get work done from the machine, we have to work on the machine. Work done on the machine is called work input. When the work input is given to a machine, some amount of work done by the machine also. That is known as work output. Let's consider the lever that we mentioned above. The effort at B is 50 Newton and load lifted at A is 150 Newton. You already know how to calculate the work done and force acting along the certain distance. Work done is product of the force applied and the distance that force travel. We can calculate work done on the lever work output as this using this equation. Work done on the lever work input, we can take it by multiplying effort and displacement of effort. So we know the effort at B is 15 Newton. We have to multiply by it 60 centimeter. Displacement of effort, we have to keep it in meters, so we have to divide 60 by 100, so we can multiply 50 Newton by 0.6 meters. Answer will be 30. So measuring unit is joule. Answer is 30 joule. Let's see the work done by the lever. Work output, we can take it by multiplying load and displacement of load. 115 we have to multiply by 15 centimeter. We have to convert 15 centimeter into meter. So answer will be 22.5 joule. The percentage of work given from the machine is for work input. So we can take it by 22.5 divided by 30 joule multiplying by 100. So percentage will come 75 percentage. We can calculate here is the efficiency of machine, it's 75 percentage. Let's see another equation for efficiency of machine. We can take it by work out, divide work output by work input. We know work output is load into distance traveled by load. Work input is effort into distance traveled by effort. So 1/over velocity ratio is distance traveled by load and distance divided by distance traveled by effort. So efficiency is mechanical advantage into 1/over velocity ratio. Efficiency is mechanical advantage divided by velocity ratio. This is the efficiency, mechanical advantage divided by velocity ratio into 100 percentage. Generally, efficiency of machine is given in percentage. That's why we are multiplying by it 100.